Hey, how y'all doing out there? This is Pete over D.I.Y. Auto School, and I thought I'd share a little tech tip with you. And what you're looking at here is I have stripped the top of this bug to bare metal. A tree fell on top of this and crushed the whole roof in, and then of course I pulled out. Now what I'm doing, I'm locating all my dents. And when I say dents, I'm talking imperfections on the roof that I need to attend to. And what we're going to do that is we're going to use a couple special tools, but it's tools that you already have in your toolbox to do the job and to get it done.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Can everybody hear that? Okay, that's called tin canning. But where do we start? Where is our roadmap to get that out? And that's why I got my Sharpie here. This is an oversized Sharpie. This is king size Sharpie. And what I'm doing on my bare metal is I am taking my Sharpie and I am going over, because I've already took my hand and I know there's a big low spot right here. So what I'm doing is I'm covering that just like this, and I'm making sure that it's covered really good, and I want to go past the point of entry, which means I want to go past the dent. Now we're not going to worry about back here yet, because I believe once I take care of this dent here, this will pop out, or it'll stretch it out where it'll quit doing that. So to find and locate the proper dent that we need to work on, what I'm doing is I'm covering it with magic marker. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my long block. Now this is a Dura block, it's a flex block. This is a round roof. And what I got on there, I got 80 grit. And I'm going to go ahead and sand that marker off. And what it's going to do, it's going to show me where the dent is on our roof. If you're looking at it like I'm looking at it, you can see what I'm talking about right there. So now, from doing that, look at that right there. Look how weak that is. But this is our point of entry. This is where the dent is. Do you see what I'm saying? This is actually okay right here, but you would think, because it does it there, that it's in this area, and it's not. We also found another little dent right there. Look at that. And I didn't even know that one was there. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my magic marker and I'm creating a roadmap where I need to hammer and dolly and what I need to do to get all this out of here. Now there's other ways that you can do this. You can use heat, you can use shrinking discs, and you can use all this other fancy stuff. But I found that using a hammer and a dolly before you do anything else is the best way to remove dents in a roof. Because what you're doing is you're shrinking and stretching the metal. Now, if you look in this area right here where my hand is, this whole area was caved in. This was the worst part of the car. This is where the initial crush of the roof was taken because the tree fell from this side. So when that tree, it hit right here first and then it slammed down on the rest of this. So this whole area was completely crushed in. And you can see, and I still got to final finesse it, but you can see in this area where I have taken a lot of the damage out of this roof by using my magic marker guide coat. Very simple, very easy. It's a tool that you need to keep in your toolbox to repair and to fix stuff, dents, damage that you wouldn't have noticed in the first place. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, over here at D.I.Y. Auto School, taking care of business on a Saturday night and trying to get her done. We'll see you later. Hey, how y'all doing out there? This is Pete over at D.I.Y. Auto School, and what I'm doing is I am finalizing this car so I can block sand and paint it. Now what I'm talking about finalizing, I'm finalizing the bodywork. This is a 1977 Honda that we're working on. And I've already done all the overall bodywork. I stripped the car to bare metal. I went ahead and did all the overall bodywork. I pulled my dents out, I hammered, dollied, I bondoed, I block sanded, this, that, and the other. And then I went ahead and put 2 wet coats of 2K primer, which is a non-shrinkable primer and requires a hardener in, or should I say activator, to use for the primer. I let that go ahead and dry for approximately a week. And now what I'm doing, if you notice, I don't have a guide coat on this car. There's no guide coat on it. But what I am using is right behind the camera there, I got that door open and the light is shining on this car right here. The light is actually shining on it. So when I come over here, I'm watching the light and I'm moving the light up and down the panels that is coming in from outside, and I'm finding my imperfections that I missed. And if we look down the door, look up there right in this area here. I want to show you this. Watch how the light moves with the camera. Do you see how that's moving? So what I'm doing is I'm watching this light. I'm following this light and I'm going to keep on going. Look how I'm going down. And what that's going to do, that's going to show me any imperfections that I find in my primer job that I missed with the initial body work. So as we come down, look how the light is coming down. Do you see the light moving right there? I'm going to try to get it to where, I don't know if I can get it to move. Okay. And then what we'll do is we're going to move it like this. And we're just going to move it back and forth. And we're going to go back and forth on the vehicle until we see little imperfections. Now we're going to bring it all the way down here, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see those, but if we bring the light way down here and we move the light, you'll see, there's the light right there, you'll see where there's 3 or 4 little indentions right here where I sanded. There's one right there, there's one right there, and there's one, actually there's 4, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what those are dings, those are door dings that I could not see when the car was in bare metal. But once I put it in primer, before I sand it, before I do anything, when it's still a nice clean surface, as you're looking at here, I use my light. See how that light's moving down? There we go. See that? Look. We're going to bring the light. See how the light's moving? All right. We're going to use our light as a reflection to find our imperfections, you might say. Here's a dent right here, and this is actually a pretty big one. I'm actually surprised that I missed that. But that there, I found that by using my light technique. All right, see there, look at that. I found that by using my light technique. Now let's walk down this rear quarter panel. We're going to take the light down here, and then we're going to go up and down that rear quarter. And you can kind of get the angle of what's going on here. And we're just using that outside light to find our imperfections. Now, since I have that door open as well, and we also got all the light in the ceiling, on this particular job, we can actually come from any angle we want. Now look at this light right here, and see how that light, see how the light's moving with the, as we're moving, the light's moving with it. So I brought that light up way up here, Okay, and then as I was looking, I found this dent right here. So that is a very, very important tech tip when you get to this stage of painting a vehicle. The hood on this vehicle was basically, in my opinion, if I could have found another one, I would have used it. It was in very, very piss poor condition, and it was just really, really battered and tattered. This whole area right here, like somebody climbed up on top of it and stepped on it. But as I used my light, look what I found by using my light technique. You see right there, there's a little dent we missed. We also found imperfections in our primer job, or our Bondo job, that I got to fix. Let me go ahead, I want to show you this. All right, there's our corner of our hood, but when we turn it around, let me see if I can catch that with the light. You can see that right there, look at that right there, that line. Do you see? By using the light, look what happens, okay? By using our light technique and following the light. Now, if you look at it over here, you can't see it. Let's look at this corner right here. It looks normal, all right? It looks beautiful. But when you follow that light, watch what happens. Let me bring that light over here. And now, look at that corner now. Look at the corner now. You can see it. I'm not even going to point it out. All right? You can actually see it. So, using your light technique, and what I'm doing right now, I'm just looking, I'm going back and forth. Look right here where we stopped on our Bondo job. You can see by using the light, look at that. Okay? You can see it. You can see the line right there. So that has to be blocked out. That's telling me that the Bondo job underneath here is too high, and I need to block that down to feather all that out. So every time that I put a car into primer like you see now, every time that I walk by it, I'm looking at the light. I'm looking at all the angles that the light's forcing on it, and I'm carrying a pencil in my pocket. So when I walk around it, if I see a little imperfection, I can go ahead and mark it. And if you look right in this area here, you can see where I used a pencil on that because I must have been walking past it like this, and the light hit it just right, and I saw that there's an imperfection there that I got to fix. And then if we walk in here, the same goes with this car. The same goes with this. What's this going on over here? We got us a little partner here. What's up, buddy? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do, bud? What are you going to do? Now, make sure you watch out for those as you're following the light. You don't want to run into a spider along the way. But the same thing goes with this. When I'm walking past it, I noticed when the light hit this little area right here at a certain angle, I noticed there was an imperfection there, so I went ahead and circled that. I came across over here, there's an imperfection right here. You can kind of see that if I move the light the right way. Do you see how I'm using the light? Look at that. Look how the light moves, okay? Using the light really, really helps you out. I actually haven't found any imperfections on this. This was a very, very big, major bodywork job. But I did find a couple. Here's one right here. Here's another one right here. And so forth. We got to clean this corner up right here. But the deal is, okay, you should always look at that car all the time you walk past it. Anytime that you walk past a car that you're working on, always look at it in detail. Because attention to detail is what's going to give you that awesome paint job and that awesome finish that you're looking for. Without that attention to detail, the detail's not going to be there, and you're the one that's going to look like the clown act when you go to the car show. Now, this is another good thing about after, we'll call this, what do we call this? The post-prime job, okay? This is the post-prime job. This is another good thing. We don't have to use our 36 grit grinders to grind it down because we've already prepped the metal up. So all we're going to do is prep up the spots where we're going to be doing our minor body work. And you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just using the corner of this 80 grit sandpaper just to rough that up. Because most of the imperfections that you're going to find on your post-prime job is going to be minor imperfections. So we're not doing like major body work here. All right? And then what we'll do is we'll clean those off. Just like that. And then we'll come over here, and what we're going to do now is, if you look right here, here's my Bondo. And what we'll do is we'll just get a little bit of Bondo. Do you see what I'm doing there? I always get a little bit more than what I think I'm gonna need because I don't want to run out. And then a product that I found that's real handy for this that'll save you a lot of money, it's called plastic honey. So what we'll do is we'll take a little bit of this plastic honey, we're gonna pour it on there, and what this is gonna do, this is gonna make our Bondo real creamy, kind of like polyester filler. And using this and making your own versus buying a quart of polyester filler is very, what can I say, money-saving item. So we'll go ahead and mix this up using our plastic honey. And I've heard a lot of people say, hey, you ought to use fiberglass resin. I've never used that. You know, I don't know if I ever will, but a lot of people say they use fiberglass resin and it does the same thing. But we're going to take our plastic honey and now look what happened here. You can kind of see, look at how nice and creamy that is, just like polyester filler. And what we'll do, we'll use that to fill in our little imperfections. So I'll take my polyester filler and I'm just going to fill in where the little dings were. I think there was one there, and here's one right there. Okay, because our job's already done, all right? All we're doing now is we're going back and we're repairing spots that we missed. And when I come into something that looks like a dent, what I'll do is I'll overfill it. Okay, I'm going to overfill it, and I'm trying to do this where you can see it on camera. And then that way, by using the plastic honey trick, the only thing that we'll have to use on this is going to be our D.I.Y sander with 80 grit. And then I got one way over here. We're going to fill that in real quick like. And everything to finish this off will be done with 80 grit. And then once we get done doing that, we're done. So by using the light is your tool. And always use a light. If you don't have optimal light like I got, get yourself a fluorescent light, make a stand for it, so you can walk that light around the car. And I'm sure you've seen them before. People make those lights all the time where they take an old fluorescent light and they kind of weld up a stand with some wheels on it, and then the light will go up and down. But always have a light or some kind of light source that you can use, that you can walk around the car to find those imperfections. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, finalizing up the paint job on the old 77 Honda and showing you where the light really leads. Take it easy.
For watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.